Of all the lifestyle 4x4 midsize pickup trucks here in the Philippines, the Isuzu D-MAX LSE 4x4 automatic used to be the only one that was missing a key off-road feature. Well, not anymore. You see, Isuzu Philippines has now brought in the updated D-MAX LSE 4x4 automatic, and in this video we find out why this is the best D-MAX version to date. Let's do this! When you buy a top-spec model, you would expect to get the best. That's why the Isuzu D-MAX LSE 4x4 automatic felt a little bit short when it came out because it lacked a key off-road feature that was present in the other lifestyle 4x4 trucks, including its Mazda twin. Now don't get me wrong though, the previous D-MAX was still very capable on the off-road trail, a fact that I was able to prove when I took it out to the remote mountains of Rizal. But still, for a top-spec model, you'd expect it to be complete. Now that expectation came true with this latest refresh, but of course, there was a corresponding price bump. You see, the top-spec Isuzu D-MAX LSE 4x4 now retails for 1,945,000 Philippine pesos, making it one of the pricier 4x4 lifestyle pickup trucks in the segment. So the question is, are the latest upgrades enough to justify the nearly 2 million Philippine peso price level? Let's find out.
Here at Reygan's Rides, we do car reviews of SUVs, sports cars, trucks, and everything in between. So subscribe and hit the bell.
So I'm filming this D-MAX review during the typhoon season. In fact, we are going through a typhoon right now, and it's really great. I mean, I really appreciate it that I'm driving a tall mid-size pickup truck during a typhoon because, guys, you know, flooding is such a common occurrence here in the Philippines. So yes, having a tall mid-size pickup truck adds a boost of confidence in your drives around the metro. Now anyway, I've been hinting about that thing that the D-MAX used to lack, which it now has. Yeah, so I'm not gonna keep you in suspense any further. You see, the facelifted D-MAX LSE 4x4 automatic now gets a rear locking differential, which was previously only available in the D-MAX LSE 4x4 manual trim. Now, back then, if you wanted the Isuzu D-MAX automatic with a rear locking differential, yeah, you had to get a Mazda BT50, which is, yeah, it's technically the mechanical twin of the Isuzu D-MAX LSE 4x4 automatic. Now, that's no longer the case, pare. That's no longer the case. The Isuzu D-MAX LSE 4x4 automatic is now complete in the off-road arena, which would surely please a lot of die-hard D-MAX fans out there. So if you're one of those die-hard D-MAX fans, make it known in my comments below. Now, aside from the rear diff lock, everything else remains the same mechanically as before. We still have the same 3-liter Blue Power turbo diesel engine that puts out 190 PS and 450 Nm of torque. Now, the transmission is still a 6-speed automatic from Aisin, which might seem a bit old or dated when you compare it to trucks that come with a 10-speed. But remember, old is gold, especially for off-road trucks. You see, Isuzu trucks are well known for reliability and durability, so it's no surprise that they decided to stick with the same engine and transmission formula here. You see, the 3-liter turbo diesel pulls hard, you know, it pulls hard, it's grunty, and yes, it lets you know it because check this out. That is very loud and noisy. You see, the engine note is gruff, and it also matches the heavy steering feel and the macho drive character that the Isuzu D-MAX will give you. Another thing that helps with the overall macho character of the D-MAX LSE 4x4 automatic would be its updated design. You see, the previous design of the D-MAX, the pre-facelift look, yeah, it was a bit on the polarizing side, but this, my friends, is now very well sorted out. You see, the D-MAX LSE gets an updated design for its front grille with its double fang feature now extending all the way up to the hood, and it also incorporates with the redesigned LED headlight units much better. Now we also have actual air curtains here beside the LED fog lights, which helps to improve the aerodynamics and the highway stability of the Isuzu D-MAX. Now the overall look of this front fascia is much more intimidating now. It looks sportier, and in fact it helps to keep the design abreast with the other sport mid-sized lifestyle trucks in its category today. Now, the last time I reviewed the D-MAX LSE 4x4, one of the sore points I had with that vehicle was the design of the 18-inch alloy wheels. You see, it reminded me of an electric fan, and yeah, the look was really polarizing. Well, Isuzu Philippines has now fixed that because we still get the same size 18-inch alloy wheels here, although in a design that is more conventional and standard, and it goes really well with the overall look of this mid-size pickup truck. Now, behind those wheels, we still get the same mechanical bits here. See, we have ventilated disc brakes up front. We still get rear drums at the back, which I really hope that with this facelift, that they should have upgraded that to rear disc brakes, but well, it is what it is. We still get rear drum brakes there. Now for the suspension, well, it's still the same. We get double wishbone front suspension and leaf springs at the back. Now, as I said, well, the new D-MAX LSE 4x4 automatic now gets a rear locking differential, which is proudly shown right here on the truck bed. As you can see, we have a decal there that says 4x4 and it says diff lock. Yeah, 4x4 diff lock. So yes, we have a very capable off-road machine right here. Now, another accessory that's been added to the LSE trim would be this cargo bed sail accessory here, or commonly known as a sports bar or style bar. See, we have that here. It looks pretty good. Goes well with this fancy paint job that we have here. And well, for the off-roading figures or the numbers, well, it's still the same as before. You see, the ground clearance still stands at 240 millimeters. The flood wading depth is still at 800 millimeters. And for your off-roading angles, well, you should now be seeing them on your screen. You have your approach, breakover, and departure angles right there. Alright guys, it started to rain again. As I said, it's a typhoon season. But anyway, looking at the cabin of the D-MAX LSE 4x4 automatic, a lot has changed from when I reviewed it 2 years ago from the pre-facelift variant. You see, we lose the brown color scheme here and the brown leather seats. Instead, we get these standard black leather seats here, which by the way goes really well with the LSE exclusive Biarritz blue paint job that this press car came in. Now, this blue and black color scheme looks really good and kind of reminds me of an American mid-size pickup truck. But anyway, as I said, still looks pretty darn good. Now, the driver's seat gets power adjustment while the front passenger has to make do with manual adjustments here. And if you look at the entire cabin, well, it's an all-black business affair. Now, that gives this D-MAX cabin really more of a serious and business-like look, but it also makes it easier to maintain. Now, the leather-wrapped steering wheel here is pretty much the same as before, and it also tilts and telescopes just like before, but we do get a big difference when it comes to the gauge cluster. You see, the gauge cluster here has been redesigned. We now have a larger 7-inch multi-information display there that looks really high-tech, and we pair that with a 10.1-inch touchscreen infotainment system here that has a redesigned interface. Now, we also have wireless Apple CarPlay here and Android Auto, and we now have the image of a 360-degree view camera. Oh yes, we also have a blind spot assist function for your camera system here, which is very useful, especially when you're driving a mid-size pickup truck here in the Philippines. Now, aside from that, yeah, we also have a bunch of storage spaces here. We have storage spaces on top here, dual glove box compartments there, pretty much the same as the pre-facelift. But then when you go down here, you'll see that we now have an included wireless charging pad there, yep, for all your gadgets, and we now have some additional buttons beside your shifter. We have a button here for your DVR recording system. That's another plus for the D-MAX LSE 4x4. And we have another button for that rear locking differential. Now, beside that, we have a button for your rough terrain mode, which the D-MAX LSE 4x4 automatic now also gets. And essentially, in a nutshell, it just means that it helps to modulate the brakes when you're going over rough terrain or uneven terrain or off-roading and whatnot. Now, beside the cup holders here, we also have a manual handbrake because of, well, the carryover from the pre-facelift. We still have rear drum brakes here, so we only get a manual handbrake, no electronic parking brake for you. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the cabin of the D-MAX LSE 4x4 automatic. Now, since the engine and the transmission are still the same as before, then the fuel economy is, well, pretty similar to the one I got when I reviewed the D-MAX 2 years ago. Light city drives returned to me around 11 kilometers per liter, while a highway drive, well, brought back 15.7 kilometers per liter. Now, this, my friends, is slightly better than the fuel economy figures I got back then, which only tells me that I just got a little bit better when it comes to conducting these fuel economy runs. So yeah, it's really my foot and not the car. Now, the safety features of the D-MAX LSE 4x4 automatic is also at par with all of the top spec mid-size pickup trucks out there, because we get the full ADAS suite here and an updated Gen 4 dual camera system. Now, what does that mean? Well, basically, it means that the forward collision alert is a little bit more sensitive than before. Now, as for the back seat, let's go and check it out. Alright, so the second row seats of the D-MAX LSE 4x4 automatic remains practically unchanged from the pre-facelift. That means that we still get a good bunch of amenities here, from the rear AC vents, the USB charge port. We have a center armrest here with a pair of cup holders, a little hook here behind the driver's seat for some stuff, and we also have this grab handle on the B pillar, which helps you to get in and out of the back seat with ease. Now, in terms of the space, well, it's pretty average for a Japanese mid-size pickup truck. And as for the ride quality, well, let's put it this way, dude. This is still a mid-size pickup truck that's riding on leaf springs. So yes, you don't expect to get a plush ride like what you'd get from a crossover. This is, after all, still a macho and manly mid-size pickup truck. Here at the back, the D-MAX LSE gets these redesigned LED taillight units. We no longer have the squarish LED design there, but rather we now have a triple wing design, which looks a tad bit better. Now, if there's one improvement that I wished they include with this facelift, it would have been an assisted liftgate. You see, we don't get that, see? It's still an unassisted liftgate here, so yes, you'll need some pretty strong and manly arms in order to lift this thing back up. So now that we have the truck bed open, you'll notice that it's still the same as before, still the same dimensions. We still have the same bed liner here, and the maximum payload capacity still stands at 1,070 kilograms, and we have a maximum brake towing capacity of 3,500 kilos. Now, if you're looking for the spare tire, well, you can find a full-size spare tire underneath that truck bed.
It's no question that the Isuzu D-MAX has achieved a legendary status already in the realm of mid-size trucks. The addition of the rear locking differential and the improved design and cabin amenities further help to increase the appeal of this capable truck. Now, while it may be one of the more expensive mid-size trucks in the category, with only the Toyota Hilux Conquest coming in at a higher price, the Isuzu D-MAX LSE 4x4 automatic can still truly justify its asking price because it has successfully blended a perfect balance of reliability, ruggedness, handsome good looks, and cabin comfort in one legendary package. Thanks for watching.